Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas
and Ausra.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 373 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Emese. And Emese writes, Dear Vidas and Ausra, today I've played Das Alte Jahr as well. It's so nice. Have you known that it has 12 measures and 365 notes? The genius of Bach. I started playing the organ aged 53. Earlier I played the viola. This means 5 years ago, but we had no proper instrument. This year the renewal of our church came to an end, and at last I've got a real organ. It's not a big instrument. It has got 8 stops, 2 manuals and pedal, made for our church. It was ready a week before Pentecost. So a real exercise then started. From September I have less time for exercise, but at least once or twice a week I try in the evenings. In the few months I've learned mainly Bach works. Pedal playing was new for me, but I enjoy practicing it a lot. So I have learned 3 Schubler chorales as BWV 645, 646 and 649. I'm still practicing BWV 655. It's one of my favorites. I can play it already by heart, but there is still a lot of work. My next aim is César Franck Prelude in B minor, Opus 18. Instead of a postcard, I send you my beloved organ. Happy New Year. Many thanks for the pieces of advice. Emese. Ausra, don't you think that Emese is lucky to have a new organ installed in her church?
Sure, it's wonderful. Because although it's not a large instrument, but still it's a real organ. So it's very exciting.
2 manuals and pedals and 8 stops is plenty for a little church, I think. And for practice purposes.
Sure, because I think the worst thing is that you have sometimes too large instrument in a given room, and then you cannot use no more than half of the stops.
Exactly, and
remember we had that experience at Eastern Michigan University, where we had that large tracker organ in organ studio, but the studio room itself wasn't large, but instrument was good size 3 manual instrument.
It was by Canadian organ builder Gabriel Nee. And did you like, by the way, the touch?
I liked it, yes. I liked that instrument, but it had to be in a room maybe 10 times larger than it was.
Yeah, it was too loud.
Sure.
But it's a tracker instrument, so it's kind of rare to have trackers in the States. Of course, the situation changes little by little because people understand the obvious probably qualities of tracker organs more and more.
Yes, it's like, eating healthy food and eating fast food.
Mhm. But of course, electro-pneumatical action has its own advantages.
Sure.
So it's kind of, you have to choose. I think organist has to choose.
Well, it depends on what kind of repertoire do you like to play.
Mhm.
But of course, if you like, G.S. Bach, then tracker is your first choice.
So Emese seems to be very fond of Bach works, and Emese studies Schubler chorales. So far, 3 of them. 645 is Wachetauf.
Yes, it's one of everybody's favorite, I believe.
Wonderful choice. It's not an easy piece to start with, but if Emese is practicing 5 years since 5 years ago, so maybe it's about time to take a trio texture.
Yes. I think it's fascinating that people, realize and want to play the organ, to start to learn organ, at such an age. It shows that it's never too late to learn something new.
Do you think, Ausra, that it's too late for you to start something new?
Well, as Emese wrote, the main instrument was viola.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe I need to start to learn to play viola. I don't think I would be so successful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would, be able to play something as hard as Schubler's chorale in such a short time.
Right. Organ playing is like a second nature to us now, but it took 20 plus years, 25 maybe years now, and
And don't forget all that piano background that we had as a children.
exactly, we started playing since the year of 6 or 7, I think,
Or 5.
or 5, as you. It doesn't mean that everybody has to start so early, or if they start at age 53 or later, that it's too late. It just means that you have to figure out a path for yourself and not compare too much yourself with others, especially prodigies. Sometimes we see on YouTube children playing virtuoso pieces, not necessarily the organ
Especially
though,
Chinese children.
but piano, for example, or
Like
violin.
5 years old, lad sits at the piano and plays Rachmaninoff or Chopin.
Exactly.
It amazes me all the time. Although I'm not sort of fond of, views like this.
And then if you would ask that kid, what are you playing? Probably
He or she probably wouldn't know.
wouldn't know even the composer's name.
That's right.
Or what else has he written. But anyway, I think Schubler's chorales are very nice because they develop your coordination, hand and feet coordination, very well, because they are written in 3 parts, and each part is so independent. It's written in a trio texture. It's not like a trio sonata where left hand imitates right hand and vice versa.
Have
But
you played them all?
I have, not necessarily in a concert setting, but I have.
I have played 3 of them.
But they are good as an introduction to trio sonatas, I think. If you had played like Emese did 3 or 4 of them or entire collection, then after that you might pick up a a slow movement of trio sonata quite easily.
Yes, that's right. And let's talk a little bit about, symbols in Bach's music, because as Emese wrote, there are 12 measures in that chorale, das Alte Jahr vergangen ist, and 365 notes. So it resembles an year, entire year.
Do you think that it's a coincidence?
No, it's not coincidence, and it's 12 measures long because the year has 12 months. I believe that there are so many symbols in Bach's music that we cannot grasp them all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it meant for people in that time something more than for us, because we simply don't see these things anymore.
And it means that this piece was also created as a kind of study, right? If you just play this chorale prelude, first of all, if you just copy it by hand, as his students might have done, and then if you practice it and then play it for your church service as an introduction, for example, of the hymn at the end of the year service, obviously you wouldn't notice any of it while playing, but while writing it out and maybe discovering clues like that, you would get a glimpse into the mind of the great composer.
That's right. And just think how many other symbols there are in his music, such as his, birthday signature and his name signature and sign of cross and all those other, Baroque time rhetorical figures. Because usually, the decision what key to use already can tell a lot about the music.
Mm-hmm. It is said that Bach's music is like a musical sermon. Sacred music, I mean cantatas, in some sense also chorale preludes, serve this purpose as a commentary of the text of the chorales. And since those chorales were sung in Lutheran Mass, then it's really easy to see how composer created a musical commentary. I think for an intelligent audience, or even for himself, to elaborate on the meaning of text.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking too, that probably his music was intended first of all for himself. Because not everybody, even advanced musicians, can comprehend his music so easily.
Right, and his contemporaries created much more simpler compositions, which means they knew the symbols, but to some degree, not all of them probably. And plus, if you just add the polyphonic complexities that he is writing, then this compositional style is well beyond the normal musician of the day.
I'm just wondering if such a great mind as Bach's would have chosen another subject, for his research, not music, but for example, science. What could he have achieved?
Well, it's not a coincidence that Christoph Wolff compares the great Johann Sebastian Bach with philosophers and scientists of the time. Right.
Because surely I think his works are equal with those great minds of the world.
Mm-hmm. His musical discoveries are equal to those of Sir Isaac Newton, for example. And Bach's influence for future generations also could be compared to those of great scientists.
And I guess we all are very lucky that, we can touch, Bach's genius through his music.
And we continue to carry on this tradition to future generations, right? Because this lineage can be traced back to Bach directly if we count, right?
So we are all somehow related.
To Bach, and through Bach to Svelling too. Okay, guys, we hope this was useful to you. Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your SS courses and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you were teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward."
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas
and Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.